While we have ourselves, here come the wild dogs right in line. Look at this for something incredible, is to have a pack of wild dogs running right behind the pride of lions. Somewhat of a volatile sighting. The more space we give them, the more naturally things can unfold themselves. Good morning, everybody. We most certainly weren't expecting to do a virtual safari this morning because of the fact that every app that anybody had with the weather showed 90% of thunder showers and lots of rain by 5 o'clock. And it hasn't arrived. The bush needs the rain. The bush needs the water, quite desperately actually. Let's go see what we can find. We've just had, we were with the lions,
I'm on my way there,
which are over here.
Yeah, so the inflow.
At the main dam, a pack of wild dogs has just arrived. Let's see what happens. See, while we have ourselves, here come the wild dogs right in line. Look at this for something incredible, is to have a pack of wild dogs running right behind the pride of lions. They haven't seen them there, they're looking at us, the lions. If they saw the dogs, they'd chase after them immediately. This is incredible. What a sight. It looked like a small pack of wild dogs unless the pack is split up. But let's see what happens. See if Ronnie, who's the other vehicle, there they go. The dogs. See, the dogs have spotted the lions when they jump up on their back legs like that. See, the lions have spotted the dogs. So all the lions are looking at us now. Their ears are forward and their attention is focused on the wild dogs. Sorry that it's such a long distance view when there's somewhat of a volatile sighting. The more space we give them, the more naturally things can unfold themselves. But the lions don't take lightly to the presence of another predator. Watch the dog on the left stand up. It's a small pack. I think I saw 4. The wild dogs have run off at pace once the red road male stood up. He came out of the drainage line. He must have been drinking water in there. But it's not just necessarily because it was the male. Wild dogs are incredibly wary of lions, subadults or adult lionesses or a male, it doesn't really matter. But I just think they got a fright with the proximity of where he came out of and didn't realize he was there. So they've just taken off in a flash. I noticed a huge racket from the crowned lapwing and then sort of looked in that direction and saw this fish eagle sitting in the tree. what we've been waiting for, is for them to get mobile. There's nothing more beautiful to me than a big pride of lions. How beautiful this scene is. I can't believe how lucky we're getting. Just one line after the other coming. They all seem to have pretty full bellies. So to have a drink after a kill is ideal. It's not always accessible. But to get rid of that dry blood starch taste in their mouth, something that they'll do if they can. Big dominant male red road isn't leaving that lioness not very far, so I think she's an estrus. He's followed her every step that she takes. There must be a mating pair which often move away from the pride to mate, but they're all together, which is absolutely amazing. There's a honey badger. The lions have spotted a honey badger in the open. I can't see it. Well, I'll tell you what, it's that honey badger's lucky day. He managed to run out into the woodlands before that the pride of lions found him. Look how she was hoping to come up over the ridge and see it. And pride is now moving out of the open area into the woodlands, more than likely in search of shade. I know that two of the lionesses that potentially saw that honey badger are going to go and try and look for it. Can't believe the effort that these lions are making to try and relocate that honey badger. Walking through the grass exactly where it went in. Sniffing around in the grass. It's not like as if it's a meal for them at all. But that's just exactly who they are. Curious and in charge and on top of everything. Come across a small breeding herd of elephants. Only looks like about 6 elephants or so, but each cow has a calf. So it's definitely a breeding herd. it's so small that this is what we would call a family unit. Not quite a breeding herd just yet. A breeding herd is when a bunch of different family units get together. The aunties and the calves and the cows. And when you have a few families together, then we call it a breeding herd. It's based on how they are, the direction they're facing and feeding and have been moving. I might have to start up and get out of the way if they head our way. You got your ears out for. Well, from not thinking we're going to go out on drive because of the predicted rain to having an incredibly successful drive, finding Nharus and having two of the rarest animals to find on game drive, being a honey badger and a wild dog, join our lion sighting. It just shows you how that you roll the dice every time we go out on game drive. There's a storm brewing behind the camera over there, so I'm going to wrap it up and start heading to the camp before we get caught in the rain. But it's good to see the Nharu pride all together. It was just such a powerful experience having that many lions together. And yeah, thanks for joining us again, and I'm glad we were successful, and it turned out a lot better than I was hoping.